Alright, this is going to be a quick video. I'm just going to, we're going to take a look at this bulb again. And this time we'll do something called Muntzing, where we actually start removing components to see how much we can reduce its cost by. So you can see in there's a few different components. The first thing I'm going to do is actually get rid of that capacitor that's across the input side, and we'll see if that does anything. So that'll be part one to go. Let's just do it. And there it is. So here's the capacitor. You can see the rating on that. It should be discharged. There is a resistor across that, so it should be able to drain any excess voltage that was across it. So that's it. That was our first modification. Let's see if that made it much worse or made it any better, or we'll see if it blows up. So one of the things we did right away is it uses a little bit less power. It's actually got a substantially better power factor. So now the LEDs are also being run at a little bit of a lower power. If anything, we probably just greatly extended the life of this bulb, and it's still quite bright. The one thing that there is to notice about is that it does actually flicker now a little bit. So it's turning on and off instead of having a nice smooth DC. It's got a little bit more of a flickery action. And then we can take a look at the scope images for this too. Okay, so looking at the waveform for this, with the removal of that capacitor, we can already see that the wave shape is much more sine-like. It's still a square wave, and we can see that there's like some basic dead time period where the bulb's just not consuming any current, and then all of a sudden it's kind of consuming a constant current, which is exactly what it's doing. So now we got more of a kind of pseudo-sine-like wave shape. Not necessarily terrible, it's just a little bit different, and so that's going to have significantly closer to a sine-like waveform, and it's also why our power factor improved by quite a bit. We're still off a little bit on the angle, so the phase angle's still out, and that's going to stay that way because of the there's still a capacitor in the input side of the circuit. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at on here is we have this little chip, and that does current regulation basically. So that chip is taking and making it so that this whole thing operates in essentially constant current. But we have a capacitive dropper circuit down in there, so that's going to limit the current anyway, so we're just going to get rid of that and those two resistors. Okay, so we've put a bypass wire in, and now we're bypassing that constant current part of the circuit. This is actually plugged in right now, so a little bit warm, but the little red jumper wire here is just jumping right across, so that's no longer doing anything. So now we're going to look at that. I wonder if that LED is still good. We're going to slowly start to bring this up, and so we're going to bring the Variac up nice and slow now, instead of just cranking it right to 120. That way, if there is something horribly wrong with it, we'll know quickly. Alright, well I think what we just saw there was the end of the LED bulb. I was looking at it and I saw some of those chips look like they kind of burnt out, so I think that's it. This bulb is finally all done. We've destroyed it the rest of the way. So Well, in theory, that should have actually worked and made the bulb operate a little better, but it looks like a couple more of these chips started to go bad, so I guess it was on its last legs, and the little bit of heat I needed to get this wire installed in there just finished it off, and that's it. So this bulb is no more. Thanks for watching, and tune in for something different next time, hopefully. Not an LED bulb.